Welcome to Diecast Restos. I'm Jason and this is a Hot Wheels Mini Cooper S challenge that I'll be customising today for a chap called Stephen. He got in touch asking for a commission piece of one of his cars, with the Mini the chosen one. I will need to make a fair few modifications to this casting to get it looking closer to this, Stephen's Mini. As you can see, it has been personalised to his tastes, and very tastefully overall in my opinion. I should have some good fun with this one. Right off the bat, I'm delighted with the Diecast Details wheel match. They should look brilliant mimicking the real set. But first, we need to dismantle this Hot Wheels model, which I picked up loose on eBay. This colour scheme is a 2024 release of the casting, which first appeared back in 2011. The Cooper S challenge it is based on was a purpose-built race car. It was first manufactured in 2008 by BMW Motorsport on the R56 generation Mini platform. It had a 6-speed manual transmission, slick Dunlop racing tyres, John Cooper Works aero kit, racing brakes and suspension, as well as a full roll cage, Recaro bucket seats with harness and hands device, an air jack and a fire extinguisher system. Clearly, these features are a few steps beyond those mods on Stephen's car. Steve tells me that he bought his R56 Cooper S as a driving project, something usable every day but also something he could put his own twist on. His car has the turbocharged 1.6 litre single Vanos N14 engine, which from factory produces 208 horsepower. Stephen's mechanical modifications to his Mini include a K&N air filter, Garrett billet hybrid turbo with a new heat shield for it, larger intercooler, 3-inch downpipe and a John Cooper Works exhaust with a sport backbox. He fitted Raceland coilovers, swapped the plastic rocker cover for an ECS tuning aluminium one and changed the gasket. New plugs, coil packs and hoses for the cooling system were also installed. Larger grooved vented discs were fitted with the brake pads changed, along with new braided brake lines. After suggestions were made in my recent BMW E30 convertible video, I finally swapped my hacksaw for a jeweler's saw. This made removing the rather ugly rear wing a breeze, and left a far tidier result. Internally, Stephen fitted seated heats and a JCW factory steering wheel. His Lenso RS5 wheels were polished, painted and detailed with RS5 logos and were dressed in Pirelli P04 tyres all round. Here I'm sizing up my styrene rear wing replica as well as the aluminium rod roof bars I've bent into shape. Other cosmetic changes Stephen made included paint correction and the replacement of the plastic trim around the wheel arches. That summarises what Steve has done to the car so far, but in future he plans to make the doors scissor or reverse suicide opening, plus upgrade the engine to the more reliable N18 double Vanos engine. You may be wondering what I'm applying here. Well, it's the additional fog lamps, registration plate bracket for easier decal application later on, and a little light bar that Stephen has added. And with that, the roof bars are now secured too, so I move on to removing the roll cage that featured on the challenge. As I'm sure we all know, the original Mini was replaced by the larger, retro-styled but more modern BMW-built new Mini in 2001. That first R50 generation was replaced in 2006 by the R56, with the Cooper and Stephen's Cooper S models available on launch. The base spec Mini 1 joined the range in 2007. Similar to the generation before it, there was a convertible option, while the Coupe and Roadster variants were added in 2011 and 2012 respectively. Likewise, John Cooper Works upgrades were available on the R56 from factory in 2009. Loosely based on the challenge, the JCW was a Cooper S with a higher output engine, stiffer sport suspension and a low back pressure exhaust system. It also had light alloy wheels with low profile performance tyres, performance brakes and stability and traction control as standard. A JCW World Championship 50 limited edition was built to 500 units in 2009. These commemorate 50 years since Cooper won the Formula 1 International Cup for Manufacturers and the World Championship of Drivers with Jack Brabham. Similar to the first gen, a JCW GP Performance focused edition was built in a run of 2,000 vehicles between 2012 and 2014. The R56 was replaced by the third generation F56 in 2013, which also saw the launch of the first 5-door mini hatch. The challenge-based Hot Wheels model was first released in 2011, 3 years after the first race prep cars were made available. It had 4 variations in that first year. Initially simply called the Mini Challenge, it was offered in red, blue or white with red striped tampos on the white car and white ones on the others. It had a black number 1 and checkered flag decals to the sides. The blue model had a Walmart exclusive variation featuring redline wheels. As it is a race car, I needed to erase those hood latches, plus do a bit more smoothing on the spoiler delete. After 2011, it appeared in multi-packs in 2013 and 2014 in yellow and orange respectively. It disappeared until 2019 when it was painted turquoise and had Rally El Segundo decals as another Walmart exclusive. Target had another exclusive in 2020 in the Flying Custom series. This was painted yellow but had a light blue tinted window and a blue base, moving away from the usual tinted windows and black bases. This carried over to this 2024 model, and with Stephen's car having tinted windows, I thought I'd experiment a bit and try something new. I tested this method on the rear first. I've used the translucent Tamiya PS31 smoke, layering it gently to form a tint effect. Clearly, it won't be the same as having an unpainted tinted plastic, but I thought it would still look better on the final product than the blue. With my body finessing done, I can now primer it. For 2021, the challenge casting was part of the Mystery Models series, painted all black with red and white Magma Rally tampos. In 2023, it had a teal interior, white wheels and white Ice Rally tampos on a matte black body for the Hot Wheels Winter series. The 2024 model I have here forms part of the Spring series, with its yellow body, multicoloured tampos, purple interior and blue tinted window. But all of that is now gone as I finally start applying the gloss black paint to the body. And as the PS31 Smoke is a polycarbonate RC car spray, I need to clear coat the now tinted window piece as well. I can then move on to the finer detailing. I've given the interior dials a chrome surround and the JCW wheel its yellow centre marker. Then I can do my usual chrome upgrades to the moulded base pieces, in particular the semi-exposed tailpipes. Next, I can finally begin work on the 5-spoke wheels, starting off with primer. I'll put up some comparisons when I start properly detailing them shortly, but for now I add in the wipers and B-pillars to the window piece with my black paint pen. After a few coats of gloss black, the base chrome detailing is applied to the Mini. First, it's the headlights, additional grille mounted spotlights and OEM fog lamps. Then it's the tail light base and rear fog lamps before I move on to painting the wheels white. Now this next little piece of styrene offcut I'm priming will be painted and cut to size for the lime green toe straps that stand out so clearly on Stephen's Cooper S. While that primer dries, I use a red Sharpie over the rear light bases and use an orange Sharpie to pick out the indicator bulbs. That styrene I'll be using for the toe straps is now painted, ready to be cut and fitted to the casting. The light bar is chromed, and so too are the lips to each of the 4 wheels. Here's that comparison. I'm pretty pleased with how close these 3D printed wheels match the real ones. Then the lighting is coated in Citadel Gloss Nuln Oil. I go in fairly heavy to give the lights a tinted effect. After giving that a chance to dry, I start affixing those toe straps. These are simply cut down from that painted offcut I had earlier and glued roughly where they sit on the real car. Afterwards, I add a little mark where the badge is on each. The only decals I need to apply are the black registration plates. The front decal pastes onto the piece of styrene I fitted onto the casting much earlier, while the rear one slots into the area cast into the model. The two decals are locked in with some Mr. Mark softer solution before all the detailing is secured with a few coats of clear lacquer. Now I can reassemble Stephen's Mini replica. First in is my homemade tinted window piece. Then the matte black painted interior, wheel arch and grille plastic simply slots in over that awkward central rivet post. The base pushes over the two rivet posts nicely and is screwed tight. So here was the base model for today's custom commission piece. Stephen got in touch requesting a 1/64 replica of his driving project Mini Cooper S. This Hot Wheels casting proved to be an ideal template, though it needed modifying to be a true replica, namely that rear wing. Everything else was fairly cosmetic with a few added details here and there. It was a challenge, but let's take a look at how I've transformed this Mini into Steve's Cooper S. I really like the stark contrast between the white wheels and lime green toe strap to the black everything else. I swapped out the ugly solid roof mounted spoiler for one I custom made, more fitting to the look of Stephen's. I used some aluminium rods as roof bars, styrene sheets to build that spoiler, toe straps and light bar, and some dual headlights I painted over for the additional front lamps. I added in a 3D printed bucket seat and matched the real Mini's wheels pretty closely in my opinion. If you want a commission piece of your own, get in touch on Instagram or use the email address in the video description. I want to know what you think of this build. Do you think my mods were any good, and do you think I've done Stephen's car justice? Leave your thoughts in the comment section. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already done so, but all that leaves me to say is thanks for watching and I'll see you again for the next one. Bye for now.